Slope of a line. In math, slope is used to describe the steepness and direction of lines. Remember that in the slope-intercept form of linear equation, y is equal to mx plus b. The m there, or the numerical coefficient of x, is the slope. Example, in the equation y equals negative 3x plus 2. The slope here is negative 3. Okay. Now, when we say direction, so we have 4 directions of lines. The first direction is the uphill. If we see that the line looks like this, it means we have positive slope. Downhill, this is for negative slope. And then horizontal line, the slope is equal to 0. If the line is vertical, then the slope is undefined. Ways in finding the slope. Number 1, finding the slope of the line given its graph. Ibig sabihin, yung line ay nakadrawing sa Cartesian plane. To determine the slope of the line given its graph, we need to use the formula, slope is equal to rise over run. Yung rise, ito yung changes in y. Ang run, ito ang changes in x. Ibig sabihin, yung rise natin, ito yung pag magka-count tayo vertically, yung run natin magka-count tayo horizontally. So, for example, we need to look for the slope of this line. So, ang unang gagawin is to pick any 2 points. Pili lang tayo ng 2 points along the line. So, dapat yung makukuha nating point is doon sa corner ng grid. Okay. For example, these 2 points here. So, count lang natin, or we can start with drawing a triangle connecting these 2 points. And then, sa rise, bibilangin lang natin yung distance vertically. So, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, our rise here, the numerator is 3. And then for the denominator, magka-count lang tayo horizontally. So, 1, 2, 2. So, our slope is 3 over 2. And, again, don't forget the sign. So, since this is uphill, therefore, our slope is positive. So, therefore, m is equal to 3 over 2. Now, let's try to answer the following. Find the slope of the following lines given the graph of the line. So, dito, pinigyan na tayo ng mga points. Ng 2 points. So, okay. Now, we will use the formula for the slope, rise over run. Okay. So, for the first graph, the slope is, okay, so tignan muna natin yung direction ng line. Since the line is, yung direction niya ay downhill, therefore, we will have a negative slope. And then, again, let's connect these 2 points. I can draw a triangle. Okay. Tapos, for the numerator, yung magka-count tayo ng yung distance na vertical. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, our numerator is 4. And then, for the denominator, so bilangin natin horizontally, 1, 2. So, it's 2. Now, since we can divide 4 by 2, let's divide. So, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Therefore, the slope is, don't forget the sign, it's negative 2. So, the slope is equal to negative 2. And then, for the next graph, so slope is equal to, now, since this is uphill, therefore, we will have a positive slope. And then, let's connect the 2 points using a triangle. And then, count natin yung rise. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, this is 4 over 1. 1. And 4 over 1 is simply equal to positive 4. Therefore, this is our slope. So, slope of this line is equal to 4. Next, now, in this graph, since this is horizontal, remember, if we see a horizontal line, therefore, the slope of that is equal to 0. Okay, so slope is equal to 0. Next, dito naman, kapag vertical ang line natin, the slope m is undefined. Next, dito, wala na tayong guide na points. So, ang gagawin natin, pili tayo ng any 2 points along the line. Okay? Yung dun na lang tayo sa, dapat na nasa corner nung grid. Okay? So, meron na tayong 2 points. Connect natin sila. Okay. So, m is equal to, now, since this is uphill, therefore, it's a positive slope. Okay, so vertical, yung run natin, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, it's 4 over 1, 2, 3. So, denominator is 3. Therefore, our slope is positive 4/3. Next, okay, it's horizontal, therefore our slope is equal to 0. Next, now since this is downhill, therefore the slope is negative. Okay, so let's pick any 2 points. Ito at ito, and then connect them. So ito yung triangle. Now for the numerator, yung vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the rise. For the run, we have 1, 2, 3. Now since it's already in lowest term, ito na ang ating final answer. Negative 5/3. Pwede nang hindi siya i-change sa mixed number. Next, this is positive kasi uphill. Next, let's pick any 2 points. Pwedeng ito at ito. So, let's connect or let's draw triangle. So, for the rise, we have 1. And then for the run, we have 1, 2. So, ibig sabihin, our slope is 1/2. Now, paano pag dito kumuha ng point? Let's say kung magiging equal. Let's say ito yung kinuha kong point. Ito at ito. So, draw akong triangle. So, ito yung triangle. For the rise, I have 1. And then, for the run, merong 1, 2. So, same. Okay? So, kahit saan ako kumuha ng point, I will get the same slope. So, but make sure na yung point na kukunin nyo ay nandoon sa corner ng grid line. Okay? So, that's how to find the slope kapag naka-drawing ang lines. Or kapag naka-graph yung line. Slope of the line using any 2 points. So, ibig sabihin, 2 points yung binigay sa ating given dito. Halimbawa, the first point, A, has coordinates negative 3, 2. And then we have second point, B, with coordinates negative 5, 0. Okay? So, the slope is the quotient of the difference in y, and over difference in x. So, changes muna in y over yung changes doon sa x. So, ano ba yung mga sub? Ito yung, for the first point, yung x-coordinate niyan is the x sub 1, yung y-coordinate is the y sub 1. Sa second point, yung x-coordinate nito is x sub 2, yung y-coordinate nito is the y sub 2. Okay? So, isa-substitute lang natin ito doon sa given formula. Okay? So, pwedeng ito yung piliin yung formula. Parehas lang yan. So, we have m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or ito, y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Now, in this activity, we need to find the slope of the line passing through the following points. Okay, so for the first one, we have the point 1, 1 and 2, 2. So, ito ang ating x sub 1, ito ang ating y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So, ipapalit lang natin yan doon sa formula. Pwedeng ito yung gamitin natin. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Or pwede naman yung isa pa na formula na y sub 1, o unahin natin yung sub 1, minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Okay. So, for the first item, let's see kung magpaparehas lang yung sagot kapag ginamit natin itong mga formula na to. Okay. So, for the first one, so, ang y sub 2 natin ay 2 minus y sub 1 natin ay 1 over x sub 2 natin ay 2 minus x sub 1 natin ay 1. So, solve natin. So, yung nasa taas muna, 2 minus 1, that's 1. Sa baba naman, 2 minus 1 is 1. And 1 over 1 is simply equal to 1. Therefore, ito yung slope kapag ginamit natin itong formula na ito. Now, tignan natin kung parehas lang, kung ito yung gagamitin. So, y sub 1 is 1 minus y sub 2 natin, di ba, this is y sub 1. And then, y sub 2 is 2. Next, over x sub 1 is 1 minus x sub 2 is 2. So, solve muna natin yan sa taas. 1 minus 2 is negative 1 over 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And negative 1 over negative 1 is simply 1. So, magsisame lang sila kahit na anong formula yung gamitin nyo. Okay? So, that's number 1. Now, for number 2, okay, so we have the point 0, negative 5. This is our x sub 1. This is our y sub 1. And then, for the second point, we have 4, 3. This is x sub 2. This is y sub 2. Now, I will use, since parehas lang naman yung makukuha nating sagot, kung alin man yung piliin nating formula, ang gagamitin ko na lang ay yung y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So, substitute ko lang. Ang y sub 1 ko ay negative 5 minus y sub 2 ko ay 3 over x sub 1 ko ay 0 minus x sub 2 ko ay 4. So, solve. Yung nasa taas muna. Negative 5 minus 3, that's negative 8 over 0 minus 4, that's negative 4. Negative 8 divided by negative 4, that is positive 2. Therefore, the slope here is 2. So, ganun din kung gagamitin natin yung isa pang formula na y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, parehas lang yung makukuha nyo sagot. Next, number 3. Negative 4, 7, and negative 6, negative 4. X sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So, formula, I'll use the y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So, substitute, y sub 1 is 7 minus y sub 2 is negative 4 over x sub 1 negative 4 minus x sub 2 negative 6. 7 minus negative 4, that is positive 11 over negative 4 minus negative 6 is positive 2. Therefore, since hindi na natin kayang ma-lowest term pa, ito na ang ating final answer. The slope is equal to 11 halves. So, the answer for number 3 is slope is equal to 11 halves. Now, for number 4, okay, so we have the given points, 17, negative 13, and then 17 and 8. So, let's use the formula. Y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So, y sub 1, that is negative 13, minus y sub 2 is 8 over x sub 1, that is 17, minus x sub 2 is 17. So, kung makikita nyo, dun sa denominator, 17 minus 17, this will be equal to 0. Remember, kapag the denominator is 0, therefore, the slope is undefined. Therefore, that's our answer for number 4. M is undefined. For number 5, we have 5, 3, and then 23. This is our x sub 1, this is our y sub 1, this is our x sub 2, this is our y sub 2. So, using the formula, we have y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So, y sub 1 natin is 3 minus y sub 2 natin is 3 din over x sub 1 natin is 5 minus x sub 2 natin ay 20. Ngayon, yung nasa numerator, 3 minus 3, 0 na kagad yan. So, kahit hindi ko nasagutin yung denominator na ito, automatic, any number or any fraction kapag 0 yung nasa taas, automatic, the answer is 0. Therefore, our slope is equal to 0.